Have you ever had a day where you're staring at your laptop and the words look like English, but your brain is giving you nothing? Like someone unplugged you while you were still awake? You tell yourself, oh, my ADHD is bad today, or I just need to focus harder, or my personal favorite, maybe if I drink enough caffeine, my brain will finally get on board. Yeah, no, because here's the truth. ADHD brain fog isn't what you think. You're not flaky, you're not distracted, and you're definitely not a mess. What you're experiencing is the whole body, whole lifespan interaction between your ADHD brain and your hormones. And when you understand what's actually happening, everything gets easier. Your focus, your emotion regulation, your energy, and even the way you plan your work. So today, we're going to talk about what ADHD brain fog in women actually looks like, what most ADHD women think it is, and why that misses the full picture, the real physiological and hormonal shifts behind brain fog, and 3 practical ways to work with your brain instead of against it. I'm Jen Barnes, ADHD success coach with 25 plus years of experience in the field of mental health, and a woman who has navigated more than enough hormonal twists and turns with ADHD to know how dramatically they can impact an ADHD brain. Let's get into it. All right, so step 1 is we've got to spot the real signs of ADHD brain fog so we can even know what to do. This sounds simple, but this is where most ADHD women get stuck because brain fog doesn't always look like fog. Brain fog shows up in ways that do not look dramatic, but are absolutely sabotaging your day. You read the same paragraph 12 times or reshoot the same introduction to your YouTube video 12 times. You know what you want to say, but the words don't come out. You're moving in slow motion. You stare at your to-do list like it's written in hieroglyphics. Your thoughts feel thick, like swimming in oatmeal. Most women chalk this up to just ADHD, low motivation, I guess I didn't sleep enough, or even maybe I'm just being dramatic. But brain fog is your brain's way of saying, I don't have the metabolic, hormonal, or emotional fuel that I need right now. So I used to get hit hard with brain fog between about 2 p.m. and 5 p.m. I didn't understand it then, so I'd schedule my hardest college classes earlier in the day. And when I was working in an office job, I'd always end up grabbing an afternoon snack just to stay awake and keep thinking clearly. I thought I was just tired. But in hindsight, that dip in clarity made perfect sense when I learned how hormones, blood sugar, and ADHD all interact. So if you've been judging yourself, stop. Fog isn't failure, it's feedback. So now that we've named what fog actually is, let's talk about what most ADHD women get wrong about it. No judgment, just something to think about. So step 2, what ADHD women think brain fog is and why that's incomplete. So now that you've spotted it, here's where things get real. Most women think ADHD brain fog is just an ADHD day, but it's just not that simple. Many ADHD women assume brain fog equals distraction, procrastination, or a lack of discipline. But brain fog is different. Distraction means your attention is bouncing. Brain fog means your thinking itself slows. And here's a nuance most people never talk about. Procrastination isn't always avoidance. Sometimes procrastination is lack of interest, emotional disengagement, overwhelm, executive function overload, or not having enough activation to initiate. Fog is different. Fog is literally, I can't think. Procrastination is, I can think, I just can't start. So as an example, think of brain fog as your brain's low power mode. You can still function, just not well. And a bonus myth to break? This is just my ADHD. No, ADHD influences brain fog, but hormones intensify it. And while we're on hormones, this is where things usually start to click for professional ADHD women. Step 3, the real reason ADHD women get brain fog. Hormones across your lifespan. This is the part most people overlook, and it costs them years of frustration. So here's the neuroscience meets hormone truth. Your estrogen levels directly influence dopamine and norepinephrine, a neuromodulator and neurotransmitter your ADHD depends on for working memory, mental processing, focusing, and emotional stability. So when estrogen dips, your ADHD symptoms spike. Let's walk through the biggest hormonal chapters in a woman's life where brain fog shows up. Menstruation, especially the luteal phase. So, right before your period, in fact, the week leading up to it, your estrogen is the lowest. It starts to dip after ovulation, but it's the lowest right before your period. So, this is when fog, overwhelm, irritability, and why can't I think straight moments hit hardest. Number 2, pregnancy. Estrogen skyrockets, but so does progesterone. Many ADHD women can feel amazing during pregnancy, but they can also feel brain foggy as well. And during postpartum, when levels crash, that fog can slam down even heavier like a curtain. Number 3, perimenopause. This is the roller coaster chapter. Estrogen rises and falls unpredictably. So fog becomes inconsistent, unpredictable, and exhausting. This is when many women finally get diagnosed with ADHD. Number 4, menopause or postmenopause. So menopause is that 1-year anniversary of your last period, and then postmenopause is everything after that. So low estrogen at this point in your life is going to mean consistently lower dopamine and norepinephrine. So brain fog can feel louder unless you learn how to support your brain. And if you're no longer cycling, follow the moon phases. Many women notice more fog during the waning moon, so after the full moon until the new moon, when energy naturally contracts. And if all this is new to you, you're not late, you're right on time. Understanding this is like getting the manual you should have received at puberty. Now that we know why brain fog happens, let's talk about what actually helps. So, step 1, work with your cycle, not against it. This is where most ADHD women finally breathe a sigh of relief. You can plan your tasks around your energy and your hormonal rhythm. So if you're still menstruating, the luteal phase, which remember is that phase right before you're going to get your period, in that phase, it's going to be harder to focus. You're going to have more brain fog. So plan for lighter mental loads during that time. During the follicular and ovulation phases, you're going to have higher clarity and better initiation. So those are great times to do tasks that require more thinking or where there's more pieces involved. So if you don't menstruate, you can use the moon phases as your rhythm, because many women, once we stop menstruating, can feel the moon impacting us much more strongly. I know I certainly have since that ended for me in January. So I want to share about this because I find it really useful. That waning moon, so the time after the full moon until the new moon, there is a slower energy. So this is time for more inward reflection, less thinking, more being, and just tasks that aren't going to be quite as dense. Whereas waxing, that from after the new moon, where it's growing to the full moon, it's going to be times of clarity and more drive. So that's a great time to plan for things that are more thinking and energetic and active kind of things. For me, I find that I can do creative tasks or visionary tasks on those lower estrogen days where I'm turning inward, everything's feeling more internal. Whereas when I have more energy, those are great times for admin and other big types of jobs, including presentation. I will tell you right now, the moon is waning and I'm having to even re-record things over and over as I record this video. So just even on those things, like I'm not going to not record videos for 2 weeks out of every month. So what you will do though is just have more grace for yourself, right? So even a 10% shift in how you approach things can reduce brain fog dramatically. So now let's support your brain itself. Step 2, fuel the brain that fuels you. Your brain fog isn't a mindset problem. And while some of it does have to do with what's going on hormonally, it's also a fuel problem. If your brain doesn't have the basics, brain fog is going to win every time. So it's important that you sleep. And 7 to 8 hours is foundational. Although I got to tell you, I'm hearing that that was based on men. That 8 hours of sleep a night was based on men. I'm hearing from a lot of women, 8.5 to 9 actually is helping them function better. Getting protein at every meal is essential, which will stabilize your blood sugar. Moving at least 30 minutes a day, which not only gets the wiggles out, but it spikes, not spikes dopamine. I mean, certainly it might spike dopamine, but also creates a nice base level of dopamine. So if your brain doesn't have the basic, brain fog's gonna win every time. Getting protein at every meal so you have a stable blood sugar, moving at least 30 minutes every day, and staying hydrated. And this works because protein improves dopamine synthesis. Movement increases norepinephrine and creates a nice baseline dopamine. Sleep not only clears metabolic waste, but I got to tell you, if you've ever tried to focus when when you're kind of sleepy, you didn't sleep well, you know it's harder. It's harder for even people without ADHD. And when you stabilize your blood sugar with regular meals, you're reducing those fog spikes. You don't need to overhaul everything. Even just one intentional change can improve your clarity within a week. And now, the emotional regulator that quietly unlocks everything. Step 3, create stillness so your brain can reset. This is the practice most ADHD women resist, and quite honestly, likely the one that helps the most. Mindfulness. And I know that word gets thrown around, and I want to say this isn't about forcing yourself to calm down or slow your breathing. It's simply the practice of bringing your attention to the present moment over and over again, noticing what you're experiencing right now. And when your mind wanders, because all minds do, gently bringing your attention back. One way to do this is by noticing your breath exactly as it is without trying to change it. You can do this mindfully toothbrushing and, noticing each tooth that you brush and the toothpaste going from pastiness to foaminess. You can notice all those things. And when you get distracted, you just bring your attention back. Noticing your body can reset your entire cognitive system. You don't need a meditation cushion. Just practice being present. All right, so you learned the real causes and the real strategies. Let's talk about what to do next. Now that you understand what ADHD brain fog really is, you're going to start seeing your patterns with so much more compassion and without all the self-blame and shame. And the next step is learning how to calm your system before this fog hits, not after it. So if you want to go deeper into nervous system strategies that support your ADHD brain, watch the video linked on the screen. It's the perfect follow-up to this one. You've got this. I'll see you in the next video. Take good care.